What's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I want to give you guys my current take on Sorrento Therapeutics stock, or ticker symbol SRNE. So this stock absolutely popped off today. It always feels good when stocks we've been covering a lot on the channel lately see days like today. Not only because, obviously the portfolio is very happy, but because it validates all the time and research that you've put into catching this trend early. So congratulations if you did come into the week holding calls or even stock positions, because you are having a good day. So as always, we will go over each topic that we're going to be discussing in this video, then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, Sorrento SRNE open on TradingView. I will definitely let you guys know what I'm thinking from a technical perspective and in terms of future potential price action. So we will get into that for sure. I then want to go over a few articles with, not even articles, but it's just kind of breaking down the earnings that are supposed to happen later this week. I'll let you guys know why I say supposed to. So we will cover a couple things in regards to earnings coming up. And then I actually also want to read you guys the very beginning of the newsletter that I sent out this morning, just because I do mention Sorrento and I feel like it's very fitting. Okay, so before we do get into this, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you go on to gain value from it, or if you caught Sorrento early. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to catch more content like this, and check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. First link in the description if you're interested in my exact trades in regards to some of these positions. Okay, so speaking of that newsletter, let's read this, because again, set that fundamental base and then we'll get into some of the technical stuff. All right, so kicking off the week strong once again, some of our favorite sectors around here are doing extremely well today. That's why I always talk about riding the wave when you know you have a good thing going. Example, Sorrento and Riot. So only talking about Sorrento today, but when I feel like I've successfully caught onto a macro trend early and I'm convinced it will see medium to long-term growth, I have zero issues sitting back and relaxing through the volatility. When you have emotional resilience to stomach the red days, you're rewarded with green days like today. So I've got to move my fat head quick. Sorrento just took a trip to the moon today. I honestly didn't see this coming, but I'm happy that it did. They announced earnings on the 13th, so I believe this may be a little anticipatory hype. A move this big prior to earnings sketches me out just a bit. Although I believe they'll beat expectations, I think this could be a buy the hype, sell the news kind of week. Okay, so I do want to establish that right off the back, you guys. This stock has seen a lot of hype lately, and you can see that in the volume here. Like, you're seeing a crazy amount of volume. Just over the past week, you've seen a lot of volume here, but a crazy amount of buying volume right now. And a lot of retail. This is inevitably a lot of retail hands getting their hands on this stock. Okay, so you guys have to keep that in mind. Their earnings do come up soon, and like I said there, that's a very common term that you should all be aware of in this game is buy the hype, sell the news. Okay, so a lot of people are expecting Sorrento's earnings to be good, but even if they're decent, if they don't blow out expectations and release some great guidance and great news in that earnings call, then it is very likely, in my opinion, that we will see a pullback on that announcement, just considering it's ran up and rallied so hard over the past couple weeks. Okay, so once again, before we get into the charts, always establish fundamental. This isn't even fundamentals, really. This is just kind of talking about the earnings. So we'll go over this real quick and then we'll dive into the charts. Okay, so earnings announcement for SRNE. August 14th. So that's why I say supposedly. That says August 14th. This says August 13th. If you look on Robinhood, down below, if you're on Robinhood looking at Sorrento stock, you can see at the bottom when they're planning on announcing earnings. It says August 21st on Robinhood. So that sketches me out a little bit. I looked at their website. I couldn't find a specific date. So please let me know down below if you guys know the specific date there. But you guys just stay on your toes, especially if you're invested in this stock or you're trading it or whatever, or even just want to look out for earnings. Just stay on your toes because it's very likely that it will happen either August 13th, probably post-market, or August 14th pre-market. So that might be kind of the issue there. It's August 13th post-market, August 14th pre-market. So that would make sense. That's the only kind of rational conclusion I can come to, because one of them's wrong for sure. So I guess we'll see. Just stay on your toes, guys. That said, let's get into this. Again, you guys, I have two patterns drawn here. Not even patterns, but just kind of what I expect to see over the course of this week. Okay, so you can see here we are on the hourly time frame, just breaking down Sorrento, up 30% on the day. We are up after hours. Don't have it right here, but I believe we're up about 7% after hours as of right now. So at the time of recording this, but up 7% after hours, up 37, almost 40% on the day. That's insane, you guys. So Sorrento has definitely exceeded my expectations, as I said here. I was not expecting the week to open up like this, but it did. And again, the portfolio is very, very happy about it. But on a real note, after just such volume like this, and you can see here, volume is very high, so there's a lot of hands holding this. There are a lot of people who bought today, so anyone who was going to want to be taking profits could set the trend for a move down. And you guys know when retail gets involved, when kind of weekends and just the hype fuels a stock, it has more volatility, okay? And that's a big thing to expect with the stock. And I want to establish right now that I'm very fundamentally bullish on Sorrento over the medium to long term. I think the projects they're working on are very solid. I like the science. I like this. We've talked about it a lot in the past. I'm not going to get into the kind of the specifics of what this company does right now, but to sum it up real quick, if you don't know, you definitely should know if you're watching this video, but Sorrento is working on like test kits and treatment for COVID, as opposed to a lot of the other stocks in this sector that are working on a vaccine. These guys are kind of taking a multi-pronged approach, a different approach, which is why I've liked Sorrento for a long time and still do. But on the short-term time horizon, again, it sketches me out that earnings are coming up and we've seen such a strong rally prior to earnings, okay? So what I think is likely, all right, this is what I think is likely, and I did adjust my position accordingly today with this thought in mind, okay? So I think that we will, again, you guys can see that just at the beginning of August, we were at $8. We're now at $18. So we've over 2x'd since the beginning of August. That's crazy that we've seen this type of growth. So Sorrento is just ripping. When you see a stock like this, like what goes up must come down to a certain extent. Obviously, it's a matter of when, not if. So it's a fact that this will pull back at some point, but when, I don't know. I'm expecting to see it pretty soon here. So what I expect, this is the more likely scenario. And again, this could absolutely be wrong. That's why I have the second line drawn here that I'll show you after I explain this one. So start with the bad news, we'll move on to the good news. All right. So what I think is more likely to happen is we'll see a pullback in Sorrento. And again, it's for sure going to happen at some point, but it's a matter of when. I think it'll happen soon. When that happens, I think it's likely that we either come down to this area right here, which is this line. So this line right here is a line that I've drawn on Sorrento for a long time. I've had drawn, it's been used as a line of resistance and support over previous months. And you can see it used it pretty solidly as a line of support right here, okay? And it does coincide with the general trend line I've had drawn from years back. So this is not a trend line, this is just a line of support and a resistance that it's used in the past. So it does, that does coincide. It crosses over with this upward trend line. So that just makes me think that, again, when you see intersections like that, they do come into play sometimes. Again, you guys, technicals are never 100%, but it just gives you an idea of what to expect. And especially since we've seen this rally, seen such a crazy rally, see so much volume, see so much retail interest in this stock, it wouldn't be surprising to me to see that like 20% correction, okay? Just because we've seen such a crazy run up, that wouldn't be that crazy too. It lines up almost perfectly with a previous high that we set over here just about a week ago. So not even a week ago, just the other day, which seems like a long time ago when you're trading the stock. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all to almost retrace another 20%, kind of wipe out today's gains at some point in the future. Again, I'm not saying tomorrow it could, it was up after hours, so tomorrow it could very well be up another 20%. But it's never crazy just historically for a rallying stock to correct back down to previous highs, which is around the $14 region. So I will say, if it does pull back to $14, I'm picking up a bag. I'm definitely reestablishing a position. The other area that it could correct to that you should keep an eye out for is right here, which was this just this very kind of brief uptrend line, which is, it doesn't hold much weight to me just because there's not much support here. But, you could potentially use this at around 1550 if it does choose to correct over the next couple of days. And again, this intersection right here does coincide with the earnings. I guess if they do happen on August 13th, but I guess we'll see, huh? But that happens on August 13th. So again, unless Sorrento significantly impresses on August 13th, then I think we will see a pullback. So that's just what I'm betting. Again, you guys remember I could be completely wrong, and that is why, I guess I won't be wrong because this is my other theory, but one of these is pretty likely to play out in my mind. So if we don't see a pullback over the coming days, then I think over the next couple of days, we'll probably see it stick around the 18 was at 1880, probably $18 to $20 region over the next couple days. And then if they do impress on earnings, I would not be surprised at all to see it come up and hit the big $27 mark, okay? So Looking at earnings here, I fully was going to look at these before that, but that's all right. Went on a little tangent. So earnings, again, August 14th, August 13th, whenever it may be. Sorrento Therapeutics Inc. is estimated to report earnings on August 14th. According to Zacks Investment Research, based on one analyst forecast, the consensus EPS, that's not many analyst forecasts, the consensus EPS forecast for the quarter is negative 22 cents. The reported EPS for the same quarter last year was negative 39 cents. Okay, so negative year over year, you're burning less cash, which is always good. Again, so many of these biotech guys, you have to remember they're not profitable. A lot of money goes into R&D until you strike gold, until you strike that effective thing that you can actually put onto the mass market, and that's when you start printing money. So Sorrento is still in negative territory. They're unprofitable. They are burning cash. So EPS is going to be negative, and you can see here every analyst forecast. So I can't. Damn it, I can't. Okay, so sorry, estimated is the dark blue line. So analyst estimates is this dark blue bar. Actual earnings is this like teal bar, and this is over the past year. Okay, so it's been pretty right on with estimated earnings, aside from right here, aside from their last quarter, which is kind of not a good sign because that's usually kind of what you want to base this current quarter on, is the previous quarter. So last quarter, last earnings call, they disappointed. So they lost even more than expected. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I think they'll probably beat earnings this quarter just because they have so much good going for them right now. But just keep in mind, guys, again, if they don't impress significantly, then I think we could see a pretty solid pullback in Sorrento. I'm still long-term bullish. Again, you guys fundamentally on Sorrento, and I'm excited to see what they announce in those earnings in terms of progress in regard to the test kit, in regard to the treatment. So keep an eye on that. But just from recent price action, it just sketches me out. Okay, so keep that in mind. Coming here, these guys say it's August 13th. Tip ranks, I don't know what their validity is. I do trust NASDAQ more than tip ranks because I don't even know who these guys are pretty much. But I mean, I believe. I have no reason to disbelieve this because this is all accurate. This is all accurate right here. This isn't their opinion. This is just a conglomerate of data. Okay, so I did mention this in yesterday's video in the stock watch if you guys saw it. But you see the analyst price target right here. And again, you guys, analyst price targets, they can do a lot for stocks. We've seen in the past analyst announcements really move stocks, really sway the direction of a stock. But you guys have to remember that they're just people as well. This is their job, so they are trained professionals in the sense of analyzing stocks and expecting future movement. But remember, they have their biases, and everyone has their biases. I have my biases. Anyone you watch will have your biases, and analysts are the same. So $27 is right now not even too crazy of a price target. I remember just yesterday when we were watching this, it was a lot crazier than it is today. But after today, it's not too crazy. And again, that $27 does perfectly coincide with this, with my ultimate price target that I've set for the past couple months now. I think I've had this drawn for at the very least a month. So I'll let you guys know why I did that right now. If we zoom out here, go to the 5-year, we're on the weekly time frame. Sorrento did hit a high of $27. So it's exactly in line right there in July of 2015. Okay, so it shows what this is capable of. And I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. I'm convinced that what they're working on now with the test kits, with the treatments, is significantly more important than what they were working on in 2015. And especially in this market, I have zero doubt in my mind that Sorrento, if over the course of the next few months at the very latest, will once again come up and retest a previous high that it set back in 2015. We can go back, and they have set higher highs, I believe. Yeah, if you look at Sorrento back here, and again, you guys, the stock could have been completely different around here in terms of like shares on the market and stuff. I almost guarantee it was. And you just looking at this looks super janky. So again, you guys, it just shows potential, though. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to put too much weight onto that, honestly. But Sorrento is what I want to say. Also, let's zoom in back here. But after this, Sorrento is also a very small company still, which is what you have to keep in mind. Moderna, which is a stock we talk about a lot. I'm sure you guys have heard the name if you're not familiar. Leader, arguably one of the leaders in creating a vaccine. They're worth $30 billion. Okay, and Sorrento is currently sitting. Damn, it's growing so fast at a $4.5 billion market cap. So it's growing quickly, but relative to a lot of other players within the space and just the market overall, Sorrento is still a drop in the bucket. A $4.5 billion company has a lot of potential for growth in terms of price per share. Okay, so let's zoom back in here. This is going to look a little crazy. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's zoom back in here and just look at this. Okay, so again, if they do impress on earnings, which will happen on either the 13th or 14th, I wish I could say that with more confidence. But yeah, so if they impress on earnings, I expect, if they significantly impress on earnings, that is, and have like a great announcement in regard to treatment test kit, whatever, then I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it shoot up over the course of next week, probably to $27. Again, you guys, nothing ever goes just straight. I mean, it goes straight up sometimes. You do see that, especially in this current market with so many shiny objects and retail hands, retail traders involved. But I mean, again, if they really impress, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up to $27. If they only impress at a mediocre level, even if they impress a little bit, I don't think a little is going to be enough to justify the recent price action, and I think we'll see a pullback. So to sum it up, I've said it many times, but just to sum it up, they need to really impress. So Sorrento really needs to bring some good news to the table during their earnings call later this week in order to see a move up to $27, which is completely possible in my mind. But if they don't, I think they will correct back down to the $14 to $15.50 region. And I'll leave it there, you guys. Again, if you want to know exactly how I'm personally trading, this is not financial advice. None of this video is. I could be completely wrong in everything I'm saying. Always remember that. Not guaranteeing any outcome here. But if you guys do want to know how I'm trading it personally, just for a point of reference, you guys can check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. Again, along with Sorrento, I trade a lot of other biotechs, a lot of blockchain companies. Did have a good day today across other sectors as well. So again, first link in the description. If you're interested, you also get this newsletter that we read in the beginning. I do send this out every morning, every trading day during market hours, just talking about my thoughts on the general market within my personal portfolio, talking about the trades I made this day, and rationalizing my thoughts as to why I made those trades, as well as just my thoughts on the general markets overall. So again, check that out if you're interested. If not, no worries at all. And I think we'll call it there, guys. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you were early on the trend, if you caught Sorrento, if you've been riding the Sorrento wave with me over the past couple months. I know a lot of you have. And again, congratulations to you. Cheers to that. We're all eating good tonight. It's been a good week for us if you're usual around here. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, let me know in the comments down below what you're excited about, not only Sorrento, but within the biotech space, the stock market as a whole. So always love learning from you guys. Always love talking shop with you guys, and look forward to chatting down there. And until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.